All right. So Stephen A. Smith.
Oh my
as
God.
you all know, I can't stand this. I
Goddamn
can't stand
clown.
Stephen A. I cannot stand Stephen A. Smith. Right. But he is all over my timeline this weekend. Right. Him and T.O. And clips started popping up of him on Joe Budden's podcast discussing Max Kellerman.
Correct.
And I don't know. I mean, Ferris, you know more about it. Why were they even talking about Max Kellerman? Because this happened. Max Kellerman used to be on First Take, with Stephen A. That's when the show was a little bit more tolerable for me, and he got rid of him. And everybody knew that he didn't want him on there. He kind of addressed it at the time, and we knew what it was. We all knew what it was, right?
He's better than him.
Yes, he was better than him. And yes, the comment that T.O. we all knew when T.O. said, "Hey, Max seems more blacker than you."
See, Max is going to get in here, and like I said, I'm in the streets. Max almost seems blacker than you, Stephen A. with his commentary.
With all due respect, my brother.
I'm just saying, dog.
Wait a minute.
He hated that because Max is always on the right side of social issues and whatnot. We'll get into that in a minute. But he got rid of Max Kellerman. I didn't see any reason to address it any further. But here he is on Joe Budden's podcast, going on this long BS, rant about how, it wasn't personal, but I wanted to win. And I just didn't feel like we were winning, even though they were still the number one show with Max Kellerman.
They were still winning.
Yeah, they're still winning. It wasn't about that. T.O. He quote tweets a tweet. Somebody, he didn't put that out. Somebody tweeted out that video when he said, "Hey, Max is blacker than you," and that person said, "This is the reason why Max is off the show." And T.O. says facts, and that sent Stephen A. on a whole nother rant. But Ferris, why were they even talking about Max Kellerman to begin with?
So man, it was just one of Joe Budden's cronies that asked him a question about it. And they asked him, like, why do you keep going through, like, co-hosts? Like, what happened with you and Max? Like, why'd you get rid of Max? That was pretty much it. Because they wanted, these podcasts, man, they deal in tea and drama. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know what Joe Budden does anymore besides just, like, I remember, so Vince Staples was on his podcast, like, a week ago where Vince Staples calls him a drama queen, basically. It's like, bro, you're a drama queen. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so, like, that's what they asked. And then, Stephen A. Smith goes on this, like, stupid rant where this is where the rant completely falls apart, where he says this: "Oh, people didn't think Max Kellerman was credible because he's not an athlete, nor is he a journalist."
Yeah,
which is factually inaccurate because Max Kellerman was a boxing journalist.
Yeah,
like everyone knows.
And where's the journalism on First Take? This is this is journalism.
Who was on crack?
That's factually inaccurate because people don't find journalists credible talking about sports.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So no, here's the thing too. Like, if let's say that's correct on Max Kellerman's case. It's, I think, correct on your case, bro, because you were a basketball journalist. That's all you did. You're a basketball guy. Why do you have any say on football, baseball, boxing, MMA? You did hoop. Go talk about hoops.
Yeah, don't ever talk about baseball. Like,
yeah, well, they don't talk about baseball anyway, Brandon.
Yeah, I know, but I don't want him.
You're eating.
Yeah. I wasn't eating anything.
You were eating.
Yeah, bro, like he clout chasing. He's just creating a BS story for no apparent reason. Max Kellerman, he had great takes. Did he have the occasional, what the hell did you just say take? Absolutely. The famous, I want Iguodala.
Yes.
Like everyone knows it. But guess what? Stephen A. Smith once said, you know what? I think Dwayne Haskins is a great runner.
Yes. No,
the man never had more.
He said he's a better runner than passer. That's what he said.
That man had never rushed for more than 50 yards in any game in his entire career. That man couldn't outrun an elephant. Like, that's how slow he was. He was a quarterback. He threw the ball. Yeah. So like he has been wrong on so many occasions on that show. So like it doesn't matter. Like you have been. He once talked about Hunter Henry. Like I need an impact from Hunter Henry this coming week. Hunter Henry tore his ACL and was out for an entire season.
Yeah, he in that same segment, I believe he talked about Derek Johnson and the impact he was going to make, and Derek Johnson had been retired for several years.
Exactly.
I just want to also point out that because Suge has the big monitor up top, when Jose calls him out for eating and he shakes his head no, he looks like a little child lying to a grown up.
Right where he is right now, because he keeps looking up. It's like he's looking up and Jose, don't be mad at me.
I don't know what y'all are talking about. I'm not doing anything wrong.
The TO aspect part, the TO aspect part's pretty interesting because Stephen A. Smith then proceeds to accuse him of kind of being a backstabbing backdoor dealer who tried to get people fired. Yes. And then TO's like, nah, bro, I didn't try to get nobody fired. I tried to sue you for revealing private text messages on air, which is I found out is against the law. So yeah, I tried to. You damn right, I tried to sue you and ESPN because what you did was illegal. And
then Stephen A. was like, "Oh, that's right, it was me who got people fired."
Yeah.
So yeah, I should have screenshotted these tweets, but basically Stephen A. Who was triggered by T.O. simply just saying facts to a tweet, goes off, calls him trifling, and just like, I have my problems with you, and you shouldn't be talking, and you better thank the heavens that I'm not exposing you, right? But he's like, yeah, you should be thankful I'm not exposing you right now, and all the things I can say about you. And this is typical of Stephen A. He always swears he's got dirt on players or whatever, which is pretty slimy within itself to kind of put it out there like, hey, I got this dirt on you to show that you're a terrible person, but I'm not gonna say it unless you piss me off. Right?
So really, you should be thanking me right now.
Right. But T.O. is just like, what you got on me? You got nothing. T.O.'s like, you got nothing on me. Like, he's like, expose it, because I don't go anywhere. I don't do anything. You got absolutely nothing. So show your receipts, and don't give me this hearsay nonsense either. Show me what you really got. And he just, that's when Stephen A. try to play it off a little bit like, oh, well, thank you, Kyrie Irving, because Kyrie, the peacemaker, wanted to go in and say, hey, well, take this offline. Don't do it in public. And Stephen A. is like, yeah, you know what? I'm done with it. Be blessed, T.O. And T.O.'s like, no. We here now. We're here now. So you go ahead and show us what you got. You got your podcast on Monday. I'll be watching. Right. So sure. I'm gonna let you snack for a little bit. Let me know when you're good.
Man, another one of the trifling Stephen A. moments is like he has this report where it says Lonzo Ball can't even stand up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like he blatantly says on national TV, I'm hearing that Lonzo Ball can't even stand up on one leg. He can't stand. It's whatever. Lonzo Ball ain't really tripping. He just makes a video standing up on one leg, kind of just having fun with it, right? Kind of like calling Stephen A. out, just kind of a fun thing to do. And then what Stephen A. Smith does, instead of saying like, "Oh, my bad, fam," he says, "You know what? You trash bum player. Who the hell do you think you are correcting me about my fake information?" I'm like, bruh, you lied. Someone called you out for lying.
Jay, it's a simple rule. No eating on camera. It's simple. He knows it.
It's been this way.
Whose way would it be, Jay? But no, you're right, Harris, and that's why I don't like Stephen A. And this is the third time off the top of my head that he's threatened a player like that. He threatened T.O. Like he said, he kind of threatened to release info on Lonzo Ball too, and Kevin Durant back in the day. Oh, I promise you don't want to make an enemy out of me. Like, you ain't gonna do nothing, Stephen. Right. But like he's very insecure. And he doesn't like people making him look stupid. Well, then just stop lying.
Yeah,
stop embellishing stuff. That Lonzo Ball thing was funny. He was laughing. He wasn't. I mean, he was sort of calling Stephen A. out, but in like you said, in a playful, joking way.
Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah.
And all he had to do was laugh along with it, and it would have been done. But he had to go all the time about, "Oh, I know who your doctors were. You want me to tell everybody doctors were? I got this information from somebody close to you."
Which is illegal. Doctors shouldn't be doing that.
Well, yeah, but he was very careful not to say that he got it from the doctors. He just got it from somebody close to Lonzo. Right? Because
but again,
a HIPAA violation.
But here's where he messed up, because the other athletes will say, "Okay, whatever, Stephen, you got it, whatever, ain't that big of a deal." T.O.'s like, no,
I got time.
show me. And we're not coming off of the subject until you show me what you got. You know what I'm saying? And that's all T.O. was tweeting about for the rest of the night. Right? Hey, can't wait till Monday to see what Stephen A is going to say about me because he says he's got receipts. Can't wait to see him. Right? So he forced Stephen A to come to address it on the show on Monday, and it was the most pathetic thing in the world. Right? He's talking about his book where he addressed Max Kellerman's being fired. So what? Like, how is that that's not receipts? He shows some file of documents or something. I don't know what those were pertaining to. It had nothing to do with what he said about T.O. He talked about the lawsuit that T.O. had already brought up. Sue ESPN, but that didn't go anywhere. Okay, but where are you going to show that he did all of these things to brothers, right? They typed in all caps. What did he do that was so bad to them? And where are you going to show that T.O. was trifling? Right, you're gonna bring up the things he did as a player, or how he didn't get along with certain players when he played for the Eagles or whatever. Already. Yeah, everybody knows that.
Everybody
right?
knows that.
And he's one of the greatest receivers of all time. So who cares? So, so what do you have at the end of the day? He had absolutely nothing. He had absolutely nothing. And it just showed that you get so triggered by certain things. You're so emotional about it, and it's obvious to everybody else. But because you're Stephen A. and you've been doing this for a long time, you have nothing but yes men around you. Nobody's really there to check you on that, except for somebody like T.O. And when T.O. checks you, he's not your friend anymore.
It's clown behavior, man.
Are you ready, Shug?
He was in the chat talking about Sic Semper Tyrannis.
Are you still eating, Shug?
No, I'm not. There was nothing eating. I was chewing on my tongue.
You're chewing on your tongue.
What?
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my
yeah.
What?
I was biting my tongue. Yeah. You don't bite your tongue, Ferris?
No.
Well, that's because you're weird.
Well, neither does Shug.
I was biting my tongue.
No, Shug. I'm pretty sure you're the weirdo in this case.
No, not really.
Biting your tongue is figuratively speaking. Biting your tongue. You don't actually.
I'm biting my
tongue.
No, yes, I actually do bite my tongue. It's a thing I did since I was a kid. So now you're making fun of a handicap. Thank you, Ferris.
That's not a handicap. That's not a handicap.
It's a disability. It's a disability.
What are you talking about?
It's because I'm schizophrenic.
That's not. No, you're not.
None of these.
How do you know that? Are you my doctor?
These are all words. These are all words, but they don't relate to each other.
I don't know. He's kind of being like Stephen A. Smith now, reporting things that
I don't care what you have. There is no eating on camera.
I wasn't eating.
Just
a tyrant out here.
We saw your attempt to. This is what he tried to pull.
I was smelling my keyboard.
Dude, you gotta get better at these lives. They're just so bad.
Okay, I had talked about it, and I smelled my keyboard. Yeah, I smelled my keyboard. You ever smelled your keyboard before? What's wrong with you guys? You don't bite your tongue. You don't smell your keyboard.
I don't physically bite my tongue.
You need to go full Mateo right now. Just look at Jose and be like, listen, Jose, listen. I have no food. You have all the food. I have no food.